Hello, this is Neal Walters, and if you've been watching my videos for a while, you've been hearing me talk about going to Miami, Florida, and South Beach, Florida for a couple of conferences recently. The group that we're dealing with here actually rented out the entire Marlin Stadium for an event that we had there, and then we had a party at the Sky Lounge. We rented a yacht one evening, and then we had 2 days of fantastic mastermind training with about 200 of us, along with the full conference of about 5,000 people that are involved. And Chris Jones, who you're going to see in this video, I had the fortune of sitting at his table for a while. You can see in the picture there. He basically is one of the top earners with this company, and he's created some genius ideas over the last few years. I can't say enough about him and his ideas. Basically, the company we're dealing with here is kind of a hybrid of three things: internet marketing, direct sales, and network marketing. It kind of takes the advantages of all three of those. Imagine marketing nirvana is if you could just go to the internet and if you could pay and buy, say for instance, $100 worth of leads. In the past, what may have happened is you've gone to friends and family and they don't buy, so now you have to go to what's called a cold market, some people you don't know. And what happens to a lot of people is they spend money on advertising and they lose. They don't get the sales back from the amount they spend on advertising. So imagine if you could spend $100 and in return for that, you make, for instance, even 110, 120, 150. Chris will give you some numbers in his video, and I believe that these are quite possible. But if you could just at least spend 100 and make more than 100 with some long-term residuals coming out of it, you'd be able to keep advertising infinitely. You know, you could just keep every day, every week, spend another 100 or another 1,000 on advertising, and you wouldn't run out of money. So to me, that's like marketing nirvana. And so that is basically called iPass 2. And Chris, again, is an amazing guy. He will explain it all to you in this video. So take a look and see if this is something for you. And there'll be a link, of course, below where you can follow up and learn more about it. Talk to you later.
Hey everyone that is attending this live hangout. Chris Jones here, co-founder of iPass, and just wanted to come to you now. We're going to wait just a couple minutes and let everybody else get on, but for those of you joining me, I'm going to take the next hour and explain to you and show you exactly how to make money with the new iPass 2 system. In fact, this is a video that's all about the pre-launch of iPass 2. It's really going to be giving you the blueprint to make money between now and the day that we launch. The reason being is last time we launched iPass 1 last year, it was this huge frenzy right the day of launch. So what I wanted to do here is actually show you what iPass 2 is going to do for you and how you can prepare yourself and actually make money. And I'm going to show you how to make $20,000 before we even launch this thing here in the next few weeks. So I wanted to put this presentation together, first of all, to show you iPass 2, to give you a sneak peek, but to also draw out an action plan for you to take. A lot of times, whenever there's a new product or a service or a business that you're doing, you kind of get lost amongst all the things that you need to be doing, and instead of actually making money. So I wanted to blueprint it out for you, show you exactly what you need to do, show you what iPass 2 is, really give you a sneak peek, which nobody has seen before, and then so you can leave tonight with a very clear idea of what you need to do in the next day, the next week, in the next few weeks up into our launch, so you can take advantage of this timing. Those of you that are on here that were part of the last launch, you know exactly what I'm talking about, because a lot of you made a ton of money during that period. So I just wanted to prepare those that are new and even those that were part of our last launch to really take advantage of the timing here, to really see what iPass 2 is. So with that, we'll wait another minute or so and we'll go ahead and get started. For those of you just popping on, my name is Chris Jones. I'm the co-founder of iPass 2, this business system that we've built here, and a lot of you have seen me or know me online, so it's nothing new, but pretty awesome presentation I have put together for you. I'm really going to be disclosing and showing you what iPass 2 is and what makes it so unique in the market where nobody's really done this before. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started here in just a second. For those of you that are on, make sure that you grab a pen and paper and take notes. You're going to want to draw some of the things that I draw out for you, because it's going to mean the difference between those of you that make money and those of you that don't. So grab a pen and paper real quick, shut off your phone, close the door to wherever your computer is at where you're watching this, and pay attention for the next hour or so, and I promise you, you guys are going to be in for a treat. I assure you of that. So with that, I'll give you a couple seconds to do that, and we'll go ahead and get started. All right. Well, perfect. Everybody, those of you on here, we have lots and lots of people on here right now. This is a maxed out hangout. It's one of the largest I've done. And that's all due to the anticipation that iPass 2 has brought. We've pre-registered over 7,000 people that have come on board to look at iPass and become part of this movement and start this business with us. A lot of you were part of the iPass 1 launch and even some of the beta for iPass 2. So in the coming weeks, we will be launching iPass 2, and those of you on here right now all pre-registered to receive iPass 2 for free. So something we did a little different is we gave you guys this for free out of the gate, and I'm going to show you why we did that here in just a minute. So what I'm going to do now is make sure you got a pen and paper handy, take notes, pay attention, shut your phone off, whatever you have to do, and we'll go ahead and get started. So I'm going to share my screen with you, and let's get started. So welcome to iPass 2, and I just want to congratulate you, those of you that are on here, on taking part of this pre-release. It's definitely been something that we've worked a long time on. What you're going to learn here, because I know that internet business can be looked at as complicated and quite overwhelming, I'm going to show all of you how to make big profits your first month with iPass 2 without really knowing anything about internet marketing, without overwhelming you with any tech stuff. So I'm going to teach you this by showing you how I personally made over $500,000 in a single month using just one formula, one system, and then how I passed that system and that formula on to others who went on to make thousands for themselves. So I'm going to show you all that information and show you what I did. It's really awesome. So for those of you that don't know me, I'll give you a brief introduction here. My name is Chris Jones. I'm the first and foremost an internet marketer. Strange attribute considering I was months away from becoming an FBI agent several years ago. I'm also the co-founder and creator of the iPass system and business platform, something that has been my life's work probably for now about the last 4 years. It's also the system that all of you should have received for free the other day on the pre-launch secret meeting or the secret webinar event. I'm commonly known for my work as a business developer, marketing consultant, primarily working in the digital products and education space, something that I often call the get paid now space, and mainly because the margins are so high. When you have digital products and you're not shipping something, lots of money to be made. I'm an education and motivational speaker. This gets me out of the house and allows me to have some fun, really connect with people, so that's something I've taken on this last year and a half. For the past 3 years, my business systems have been responsible for helping hundreds and even thousands of people find success online, particularly first-timers who have no experience in business. That's kind of been my focus. So one recent customer and student earned over $9,000 in a single day using the system when we launched it, all while actually he and his wife were on vacation sitting poolside. They did a video on YouTube showing that. It was pretty cool. And this is exactly what I'm going to show you here today and show you and give you with this pre-release of the iPass 2 system. So here's what you'll learn during this presentation. You want to write this down. First, you're going to learn how to get started making now money in your business rather than waiting months before you can take profits. This is where I show you how I'm going to help you cover all your bills while simultaneously setting up big sales that will help you really change your lifestyle. So having both of that. Second, and probably the most important, I'm going to show you how to take advantage of the timing and momentum of the iPass 2 business launch. This is why you're all on this webinar to begin with. Take advantage of the newest business system online before everyone else, I'm sure. Remember, iPass has been my life's work for the last 4 years here. And in beta testing for the last year, it's been yielding some really amazing results for people. I'm going to show you that. With iPass 2, the good just got better, and I'm going to show you that as well. Third, I'm going to reveal the 4 elements that I added to my business back in 2011 that took my revenues to over $500,000 per month. That's $500,000 a month just by this simple strategy. I'm also going to break down each of these elements and show you exactly how they are the game changer for your business. I'm also going to show you how I combine many of the proven strategies from industry gurus like Frank Kern, Ryan Deiss, and many others to form a done-for-you solution rather than a you-build-it solution. So the difference being I combined everything and built it for you so you didn't have to do it. iPass 2 is the culmination of all these strategies put into one simple platform, essentially. And it's all run by professionals, so you don't have to bother with it and deal with the day-to-day grind. Lastly, I'm going to draw out your 30-day blueprint, as I mentioned at the beginning, showing you exactly how to produce an extra 20,000 in commissions before iPass even launches to the rest of the world. This is the first time, actually, guys, I've ever done this, and I've launched a platform giving you the ability to make money before it's released rather than wait the day of the launch. A lot of people wait till the day because they want to get all that momentum and post on Facebook, you know, that they made $2 million in a day or what have you. When I launched iPass 1 a year ago, it was an absolute frenzy on the day. So a lot of people missed out on some major commissions, and I'm going to show you why that happened and how that won't happen for you as long as you follow these simple steps. So let's go ahead and continue. So here's why this is important to you right now, everybody on here. Most internet business systems, or so-called systems, just don't work like advertised. Maybe they did back in 2001, but today things have certainly changed. As a matter of fact, because so many scams or lookalikes have been prevalent online, many people are just becoming jaded to what's real and what's not. I guess you can say this. Even some of the best products out there, and you all know this, and the services out there overlooked just because of the foreshadowing of all this scammy stuff out there. So it's important that we fix that, and I'm going to show you that in just a minute how we did that. This is important to you because conversion rates are currently in the toilet. Some of you may or may not know this, but product conversions have been trending down all while internet spending has actually been going up. So I'm going to show you where 99% of the people are missing the boat here and how you will get incredible numbers above 8% conversions, okay, compared to where others are seeing below 2% conversions. So it's going to be pretty fun, you guys. I'm going to show you a huge difference in what kind of conversions you can get. This presentation is also very important to you because if you try and sell other people's stuff, which I think a lot of you have probably done before, you'll never see profit because you're only ever going to be making a small percentage of each sale. And God forbid you have to build a downline or something like that. You're only making a measly 5 to 10%. So you certainly are destined for failure with that kind of model. So it's important that you pay attention. Whereas on the other hand, if you decide to make your own products, which you all can do in efforts to make that 100% of your sales, you'll be overwhelming yourself essentially with all the hard work and the money that it's going to cost you to make your own products. It's just very difficult. So I've been there, I've done that. If you're going to create your own products, you might want to think twice about that. So there's actually a new science to getting 100% profit on products that you don't have to create yourself while leveraging new types of systems that actually do all the selling and telling and all that for you. This is what I'm going to be showing you that iPass 2 does. So I'm going to walk you through the system that you just got for free and show you how this actually replaces the need for you to have to build your own products. So let's put the cards on the table, guys. The game has certainly changed. We all know that, all while opening new doors for people like you to come in and take advantage of the billions being spent online. Remember, there's tons of money being spent. People buy stuff on their phones, on Amazon like crazy, especially in the digital product space. So if you don't adapt to these changes, you're dead in the water, and quite frankly, you have no business doing any business online whatsoever. So you'll be swallowed up and eaten alive is the bottom line. On the other hand, change is really good, and that's the way you have to look at it because it's actually great, just as long as you're positioned to take advantage of these changes, and all of you are sitting in a very fortunate position right now, and I'm going to show you why here in a second. With iPass 2, I'm going to show you how each and every one of you are in a position to profit in a big way this year with this business platform. So this is why it is so important for you. But is this for you? Let's go here. I developed iPass 2 for the person who wants to have a successful internet business but doesn't want to have to buy educational products, systems, and technology in order to build their business. I'm a student of the industry. I have a big budget and a development team to test new concepts, systems, and see what is working in today's market. iPass 2 is just your way of benefiting from my hard work, and in turn I get the satisfaction of helping those that didn't have the means of doing it on their own. If this is you, then you're in the right place. So you might be wondering, is this really for you? And if you're an experienced online marketer and you want an automated way to scale your business to new heights, this is certainly for you. It's been designed that way. If you're already making money online but find yourself spending maybe too much time tracking, testing, and maybe adding other ways to get more profits, this is a surefire way for you to spend less time doing all that monotonous daily stuff and focusing more on income-increasing activities. If you're new to online marketing, like many of you, and you want to get quicker, easier, and more reliable results, this is for you as well. For those of you looking to decrease the learning curve and model after something that is actually working currently and has been working consistently for years, I assure you this will get you to where you want to be financially. For those of you that know my story, I'm the guy that bought Website for Dummies here back in, I think it was 2006. I read 3 chapters and I threw it in the trash. You know, I'm definitely not the sharpest tool in the shed when it comes to technology, so I like to take the fastest route from point A to point B and get to the results as quickly as possible, and that's what you're going to be getting here today and getting with iPass 2. If you want to effortlessly increase your earnings per sale, say up to $5,000, all while doing 0 extra work, this is also for you. Many people don't realize this, guys, but that extra top tier margins is what's going to get you the new house, the new car, the new money. A lot of people also don't realize that it's no harder to sell a $5,000 product than it is a $10 product. And I know that seems crazy, but let me tell you, it's all done using systems like that of iPass or iPass 2. So being in a position now as an Empower affiliate, which you all should be, and an iPass 2 free member, you have the tools needed to start turning in new sales. That's what the point of this webinar is, to show you how to do that. Now, in this presentation, regardless of your background or your skill level, I'm going to be showing you just how unique and powerful the system is here. It's basically the combination of the perfect digital product with the right marketing system or engine to drive sales and results. One without the other, just, you guys, it's not going to happen. You're not going to make money. And quite honestly, it's why it's taken me 4 years to perfect this marriage of the right commissionable product with a properly designed business engine that you can see great results with. So if you're tired of purchasing the next how-to products that show you how to market and make money online, this is for you as well. iPass is simply the collaboration and implementation of all the effective strategies used in the online business world. All I did was I took all these strategies and built the business model for you instead of you learning them on your own and trying to implement it for yourself. The reason I can do this is because I have a big budget, I have a big tech team, and I have lots of resources to create this franchise-style business model for you. It's taken a while, but I did it. If you want to do 4 times as many sales as the other guys and have the highest conversion rates online, you guys, it's for you, for sure. And last, if you're the person who would rather follow a pre-designed set of directions and plug into something that will allow you to see more consistent results, this is for you as well. So let's talk about some rules. The iPass 2 rules, as I call it, this is not a get-rich program. It's nothing that's going to make you rich tomorrow. In fact, I try to stay as far away from that as I can because it's just not true. You're not going to get rich overnight. There's nothing that can do that. It comes through hard work and understanding how systems can leverage you instead of you putting all this work into things that don't make you money. This is not a sit on the couch and do nothing to get paid business or model. That's not what we're about. We're about simplifying and automating the tasks that make you money, but at the end of the day, there's certain functions that you do have to do. All we did is take away the complex stuff. There's no fake smoke screens here to sell you thin air. I'm not here to just sell you this dream of someday you can be a millionaire because there's a push-button software or there's some fake gurus that are going to teach you some things. It's not what I'm about. What iPass 2 is about is actually showing you how business is done, how the business model works, and the elements that you absolutely need, and the same elements that I'll show you that made me over $500,000 a month that are built into the iPass 2 system. So it's really important that you know that. No smoke screens here. I'm going to put this out there because I have to. My results that I'm going to show you and the numbers that I'm going to illustrate for you tonight are not typical. They are not typical, meaning there's some of you that are going to make some money and there's some of you that just are not, and that's just the nature and that's life. Some of you just aren't going to put in the work, and quite honestly, most people who buy any how to make money training or systems will not make any money whatsoever. Reason being is I don't know your work ethic. I don't know if you're going to take what you learn here today and apply it and do it. I have some really, really close people that I know that actually come over to my house and I train them and I do things with them that still haven't gotten out of the gate, and I don't quite understand why, but there's a difference between an action taker and somebody who just doesn't take action and gets kind of that paralysis by analysis, if you will. So some of you out there just aren't going to do it, and that's just the way it is. But I'm going to tell you, those of you that do take action and are action takers on a specific plan are sitting in front of something that can get you enormous results. So moving on, for those of you that have been on the internet marketing space a while, you've spent at least a minute on Google or YouTube, you've known that I've been around a while. You also probably saying to yourself, Chris, you have all this experience, you know, you have an very well-known name and lots of people on your list to buy your stuff. How am I supposed to do what you do? That's probably the first question that you're asking yourself. Well, my confession is that I do have an advantage over most people, yes. I already built my name over the years, and I do have a big list to use. I would hope so after being online for over 8 years now. In fact, if I didn't, you certainly wouldn't be on this webinar listening to me carry on about something I had never done or accomplished. It's because of the very nature of my success that you're all here right now, and the very reason why you need to pay attention to what I'll be showing you. With all that being said, you might assume I've had success since day one and conquered everything there is to know about making tons of money online, right? Well, not exactly. You should know a little something about me before we move forward, and that is that I am the most unlikely person to have ever made $1 million online. If you could screw up the right way to make money online, I figured that out to a T. Guys, absolutely. But I'm also the guy that is extremely stubborn and loves a comeback story, so I always knew I would find success online. With that, let me tell you a quick story, which I think is going to shock you guys here. So let me just tell you something. I've never really fully disclosed this story and to the full degree that I'm going to tell you, and the reason I'm doing this is because I think it's going to lead into how iPass was built and why it is so significant the way it is. I started out as a professional athlete. I was a kickboxer. I lived in Asia. That was my life. That was my dream, and that's what I was doing. Well, after doing that a while, successfully, but I realized that that wasn't the best long-term career choice for myself, so I did what most people do. I went to college, wanted to get a degree so I could go get a job. That was my thing. Right after that, I was going to college to get into the FBI. That's what I wanted to do. Post 9/11, I got a job offer for Homeland Security. I said, okay, that was my foot in the door, and I took it. So I got involved with Homeland Security, and I was very close to finishing school and getting into the FBI. That's what I wanted to do. I want to be an investigator. I was very good at that line of work, and so that was my thing. Well, I took a 90-degree turn actually. And I said, you know, the government wasn't for me when I was working for Homeland Security. It was just not my thing. So I actually ended up becoming a broker. For those of you that have seen The Wolf of Wall Street, I lived that life. I was a broker in a large firm in Boca Raton, Florida in my early 20s, made lots and lots of money, lived on the beach, had the sports cars, the life, but I was honestly really burnt out, and I just hated my life. And I remember it was one day I came into the office, and one of my clients spent about $250,000, about $250,000 on an investment, which in that morning he lost all of it, just in 2 days gone. And I remember asking my boss, what do I do? And he says to me, he said, Chris, you need to call him back and ask him for more money. I said, I can't do that. He's like, well, then there's the door. So I walked out the door, and I became a broke entrepreneur. Let's just be honest. I didn't know what I was doing. I wanted to start my own business because if I was going to work so hard for someone else, I might as well make all the money and do it for myself. So I did that, and I became a broke entrepreneur, trying all kinds of stuff online. And then I discovered direct sales, which showed me how to just put a couple ads on the internet, and people were buying my stuff. So I broke through. It took me 4 years of being broke, mind you. This was back years and years and years ago, but I broke through and I figured it out, and I met somebody online who actually showed me a blueprint essentially of the right things to do, and not too long after that I had my first $100,000 month. That was a big breakthrough. You know, when I was starting as an entrepreneur, I was like, hey, I want to make $10,000 a month, and then I got into the six figures on a monthly basis, and it opened my eyes to new possibilities. It also showed me how the internet can bring in fast money, how I could reach more people. So okay, this is great, I'm making all this money, and I started saying, okay, to the next level, I need to create my own products. I need to be that guy. So I started to create my own products, not really knowing what I was doing, spent an absolute fortune doing it, and what happened, it absolutely bombed. Completely bombed, didn't make any money, spent all this money, didn't know how to support it. There's just thing after thing that just didn't go right. So kind of down and out again, and wasn't sure what to do. And at that point in time in my life, I actually met the right people, some really smart internet marketers who said, Chris, okay, you've had success, but you did this wrong. This is where you need to go back and change it. And so I did that, and I went back to direct sales again because the margins were so high, and I started making really good money. So, but wait, there is more to this story, and then I'm going to get to this here now. I'm going to explain to you why this is significant. I opened 4 offices. I was doing so much volume online and doing so many sales and getting so many leads because I knew the formula to do that, that I opened 4 offices. And the reason being, somebody put the idea in my head that I need to open a call center. And I was like, okay, if I do more leads, more people can help sell on the phone, I'm going to make more money. And I made a ton of money, tons of it. Absolutely a frenzy with these 4 offices. It was nuts. Here's what happened. It crashed. It crashed really bad. What happened was I had people stealing. I couldn't control it. I didn't know the call center industry. They ate me up and spit me out so bad. It almost cost me $1 million of my own money. And I remember it was December in 2010, 3 days before Christmas. I found out people were stealing and embezzling money. I brought in the police and hauled everybody out. It was kind of a rock bottom for me, and it actually made me question my whether I wanted to be in business for myself. So that was the journey, and at that point I was really kind of looking at myself in the mirror saying, what should I be doing? And that's where I came up with my $1 million decision. Actually, a few decisions, actually. First, I decided to figure out this online direct sales thing for good. I was tired of going back to square one despite my success in the past. I was just sick of it. Second, I studied every major internet marketing guru out there, implemented the strategies that were missing in my business. So I created systems for everything in order to automate tasks, reduce risk, and increase my overall revenue, which you're going to see here, by over 5 times. So I combined all these gurus' techniques into a system that I could follow strictly so I would never get off track. I combined as I just said, I combined all the guru products and education to form the perfect formula that I could rely on to produce profits quickly, and in many cases cover all my ad costs before my main products were even sold, essentially creating my list for free. This is what I did different. I was doing things that were making me so much money on the front end that it was just paying for all my advertising. So everything was pretty much paid for and building my list for free, and then the products that happened, my main products, was just icing on the cake. At that point, I went on to build my own business formula and system, which I call iPass, to work for the coldest of cold traffic. This is really important because I didn't want to rely on my list any longer, and I wanted to be able to scale it to a whole new level. And to be honest, I was a little bit embarrassed because when I was struggling after that call center fiasco, my list got beat up pretty good, and some of the branding got beat up. And so I didn't want to hit my list. I wanted to design a system where I could just go to new people and show them what I had and make money from that. So the only thing is a little bit of a different dynamic, and I'm going to show you how I did that. Cool thing is now the major differentiator in the systems and the formula that I developed was I needed something that could work and convert favorably, as I told you, with cold traffic. I don't know about you guys, but I always see these business systems designed around using your Facebook friends or blogs, even email marketing. I needed a way to scale big and have zero limitations and not rely on a list whatsoever. And in order to profit to cold traffic, which is people you don't know, you must have the economics of your system down pat. You must know how to convert traffic that you pay for, which I call a lead magnet, into a quick sale, which I'm going to show you, which is called a tripwire. Then proceed to funnel them through a series of steps in order to sell your core offer, your main product. And then make the big profits by automating the functions of presenting your profit maximizer products, which I will draw out for you here in a second. When these things are all working together synergistically, you guys, you have a model that will make you a ton of money. And this is what people just aren't doing. Your competitors and other people online aren't doing what I just told you. And as far as traffic goes, I figured that part out to the degree, and I'm going to show you this and explain this to you, of never having to ever worry about placing my own ads again. I don't know how to put this, but all I do is I just order, my traffic is delivered, and it's something that I wish I knew 8 years ago, because I was always trying to learn how to get traffic, how to learn how to get somebody to my really awesome website or video. Well, I no longer worry about that. I just place the order, the traffic's done. It's way cheaper than if I were doing it myself. It's consistent, and I don't have to worry about it, and I can go to bed not having to deal with that. So I'm going to show you how my systems work with cold traffic, where others fail and fall apart there. Since 2011, I've spent over $1 million in paid advertising because of how well my systems are working. I've never had to worry about spending money to make a profit, and that is what I'm going to show you here today with the iPass 2 system. In fact, I'm going to show you how you can get your marketing paid for before you even make a sale of your core product. I'm going to show you how to turn cold traffic into quick sales and how the system itself turns those sales into big dollar commissions, keeping in mind that most of this happens without you having to do anything other than get the traffic itself. And I have a little secret supplier that I can give you when it comes to that. So now for the past year, I've been beta testing iPass 1 with a select group of people, and the results have been simply amazing. These people like Anna and Alex Zubarev, who've made $9,000 days, are not internet marketers by trade. Many of them were just working jobs prior to using the iPass system and becoming a full-time affiliate from there using the lucrative product base from Empower Network and the iPass system. Myself and my partners have spent the last 18 months or so developing what you'll soon see as iPass 2, and all the systems, technology, automation were developed based on factual conversion rates and proven stats, not just hypothetical scenarios. Okay, here's an example. Here's an image of the beta testers. It's Alex on the left. You'll see checks here for 84,000, 68,000, 75,000. See me in the middle there with a Superman shirt on for 101,000. Paul had 59,000. Justin Varengi had a $198,000 check. These are people that started to use the iPass system last year. Here's the same group of people that are on stage with some other checks and different ones, I believe, at this point in time. Just goes to show you that this has a really good track record. Last time we launched it, it was a very big success. Here's a picture. This is a funny picture of, it's a check for myself and my business partner for $404,625. This was some annual earnings for 2013 for part of the Empower Network, which was really good. You see my son there holding another check for $101,000. So just wanted to show you that, because when we launched this, we beta tested it to a group of people, and that group of people actually went on to have some really enormous results and success. And so what we did is in Miami, we rented a mansion and we put everybody up, a lot of our team or this group of people, and we really took care of them. The big point of this was, as you see in these pictures, is we wanted to show them the scale of what iPass is all about, even if it was in beta and it was just the first version. So we got a mansion. We rented out, in fact, the whole stadium, which was Marlin Stadium in Miami. We rented the whole stadium. I don't know about you guys, if you've ever been to a party or whatever. Have you ever had somebody rent a whole stadium? Well, we did that, and it was so grand and so amazing. People really saw what iPass 2 was about to do. So this was the pre-launch for iPass 2 that just happened in Miami, and we had a lot of the beta testers there, as you can see. And it was just this huge event. The scale was grand. Here's some other pictures. They had a full-time film crew there documenting the whole thing. Red carpet, everything you can imagine. You can see the stadium there. That's me in the middle at home plate at Marlin Stadium in Miami. And the reason we did this again was because we knew this was going to be so significant. The beta testers that were part of iPass 1 were doing so well that we wanted to put people up. We even held a mastermind for those same people, and you guys are going to get access to all of this with iPass 2, where we rented a yacht and held over, I think it was over 300 people on this yacht, wining and dining them, cruising down the intercoastal in Miami, all to cater to those that saw results, which was a lot of people with iPass 1 to prepare for this new launch. So you're all part of this right now. So, okay, now I'm going to show you how the system works and what it's going to do for you. And it comes down to this. iPass has really 6 elements that I'm going to break down for you, which I call the success elements. The first is the iPass 2 success formula, or what I call iSuccess formula. The second is the success triangle. Third part is traffic, automation, duplication, and scale. All right? So let's talk about what is iPass 2. iPass 2 is the system designed to produce new customers and create an income multiplier rather than just one-time customers. Here's what most people are doing online right now. Is you're going to see they're going to get some traffic, and then they're going to send that traffic to an opt-in page where you collect a name and email address. From there, they're going to have an offer that they're going to sell, whatever that offer is, a product or service. And then what happens after that, whether they sell it or not, they're going to send 9 million emails back to that offer. So that is the funnel that 90% of the people out there are doing. You buy traffic, or you're putting Facebook ads out there to an opt-in page, and then it's going to go to a product that you're trying to sell, and then you just have an email series that follows up and sends them back to that offer. Okay? Here's why that doesn't work, guys. People are sick of it. They've seen this. It's been around. This is what people have been doing for a long time now, and they quite honestly ignore it, so conversions are really poor. There's just too much competition. As we know, everybody's trying to make money online. They're following that model because that's what you think. You have a product, you send people to a capture page to build your list, then you try to sell the product. Okay? Too much competition. And quite honestly, there's too much hype and noise online right now where people just aren't taking it serious, so your conversions are being dramatically affected. Also, traffic is more expensive than before. So if you don't have the economics figured out of your sales funnel, you're going to be spending money and not making money. And I know a lot of you have been in that boat and you're looking for the way of, why are these same people always making money? Why are the gurus or people like you, Chris, making money day after day, year after year without fail, where I just can't figure this out? Well, there's a reason for that. Here's the funny thing. While everyone else has been losing money over the past few years using this old school stuff, which no longer works, my partners and I have been secretly earning hundreds of thousands of dollars on a monthly basis with a formula that has become the cornerstone of our business and our students' business. So here's one simple thing I'm going to show you guys, and it's going to knock your socks off, that I added to my business to double my revenue. Okay? Here's what I did. We all know you have traffic, okay? You get traffic. I'm going to give you a resource that's going to allow you to get as much traffic as you want. All you have to do is place the order. It's that simple. But what I did, okay, is I added what I call a tripwire. It's a low-cost offer. It's a $7 offer, and I did that prior to selling the core offer, which is a $47 product that I have. So I inserted a $7 tripwire. It's very inexpensive, and from there it goes to the core offer. And the cool thing about that is what doubled my conversions just by adding the tripwire. Okay? Here's why I did it this way. Without adding a tripwire in front of your main offer, you can only expect a conversion rate of 1.5%. That's pretty standard. So if you're just buying traffic or doing traffic, sending it to some product and trying to sell it, you're going to be converting at 1.5%. Okay? It looks like this. So you have traffic. You have your main offer, 1.5% conversions. You're not going to profit, you guys. It's not going to happen. You guys are you're going to be in the red and lose money. So I created a tripwire offer to put in front of the main $47 offer. And what I found is if someone takes a tripwire offer, they're 10 times more likely to buy my main product. Now, again, that's 10 times more likely. Okay? And all a tripwire is just a low-cost product that teaches something really cool and proves the concept of what your main product is doing. It's very inexpensive. People buy it quickly. The presentation can be shorter, and people are 10 times more likely to buy your core product. Now, before I use this formula, here's what a typical scenario of just say 1,000 visitors to my site would look like. Okay, you can write these numbers down if you want. My core product was $47, and the average conversion rate was around 1.5%, as I just mentioned. So 1,000 visitors would bring in roughly $705 in sales, which isn't too bad, okay? When I added the tripwire, here's what 1,000 visitors look like. Now, our tripwire costs $7. Roughly 8% of the visitors bought that. So the difference being is from 1.5%, now we move the conversions up to 8% are buying the $7 offer. So for 1,000 visitors, I would make roughly $560. But 30% of the people who bought the tripwire would then go on to buy my main core product for $47. So the main product sales generated an additional $1,128. Add this all up, and here's what we got. $560 in the tripwire sales, plus another $1,128 in sales for the main offer. That means that the total revenue for 1,000 visitors after adding the tripwire was $1,688. You guys, that's an increase of 140% in revenue by adding one simple step. One step. So before the tripwire, $705. After the tripwire, $1,688. Okay, that's over double the results with the same amount of effort just by adding this little tripwire into the mix. It's that simple. This is actually just one of the pieces or the iPass formula that I created. This is just one of them. After deploying this strategy and producing over $150,000 in monthly revenue, I decided to add several more steps that would end up taking my income personally from $150,000 per month to a massive $500,000. I'm going to show you. I started this back in 2011. In 2011, you can see in this statement from my merchant, for my company was $502,685.34 of sales in that month of a product where I made almost 100% commissions. This was back in 2011, so this is how long I've been doing it. I've been doing it for 3 years now, okay? So let me share with you the other elements that I added to my business and how they became what is known as the iPass 2 success formula, or what I call the iSuccess formula, okay? Going back to what most people are doing. Buying traffic, or you're doing your own traffic, you're sending them to an opt-in page, they go to an offer, you send them 9 million emails. That's what most people are doing. In this scenario, most people are only concerned about one thing, you guys, and that's getting more traffic to their core offer. You know what I'm talking about. If you have a product you're trying to sell and your whole thing is you're just more traffic is going to mean more sales, and then getting more people to convert, so you're thinking about conversions by focusing on this only. Okay, if you're only focusing on conversions, this is a problem. And while it's good to increase conversions, don't get me wrong here, there's far better ways to grow revenue. I'm telling you this. In fact, most people spend an enormous amount of time and money to boost their conversions by changing their website design, their copy, even going as far as picking up the phone and calling people to increase their conversions. Okay? And in my experience, most people, I don't know if this is you guys, but most people never reach that kind of numbers needed to profit because they don't know how to track these changes or just don't have the skill to do it. So if I told you a new type of headline using red instead of blue to increase your conversions 2%, believe it or not, a lot of people couldn't figure that out. So whereas I just showed you how I doubled my conversions by adding one simple step that maybe took me a couple days to implement. Okay, it's just the economics of how these sales systems work. Now, the additional steps I added to my business were by far the most significant when it came to creating additional revenue, and are quite honestly the building blocks that make up the iPass 2 system that you actually received a couple days ago for free. So the first thing I did, and write this down, was I added a second tripwire. And for those that did not actually buy the original tripwire, and created a return path for them to get emails urging them to buy tripwire and tripwire 2. Why did I do this? Well, we know that if they take the tripwire offer, they're up to 10 times more likely to buy the core offer. We already know that for a fact. So with that in mind, doesn't it make sense to build a return path that sends them continually to the tripwire? Of course it does. Most people, on the other hand, would just try to move on and just sell their core offer. Okay, somebody didn't buy the tripwire, buy my other product. Well, I, on the other hand, thought this was ridiculous to lose your advantage by skipping the step, especially knowing the core offer conversions once they buy the tripwire. Remember, they're 10 times more likely to buy your main product if they buy the tripwire. So I also realized through lots of testing that most people, and you all should know this, won't immediately buy your offer, and it takes on average 7 exposures before they'll buy anything online. This is typical marketing 101 here, guys. Knowing this fact, I plugged in a secondary tripwire offer to add more value. I also created a return path consisting of a constant stream of emails urging them back to the tripwire offer. Here's what the first part of the system looks like. So we have a lead magnet, which is our traffic and our capture page. Okay, that's how you get people to see what you got. From there, we send it to trip offer number 1. Tripwire offer number 1 goes for $7. Okay, if they don't buy that, what happens is a series of return emails sends them back to that tripwire for about a week, and it just keeps dripping and keeps dripping on them. In fact, I think it's 8 emails total. So we know the exposures are 7. We do 8. If they don't buy it at that point, we introduce them to another tripwire that has a little bit different angle, same value proposition, and it gives them an opportunity to see something in a different angle that might appeal to them for the same price, same $7 price. And if they don't buy that, we hit them with some other emails to send them back to that second tripwire. Now from there, when they decide to purchase the tripwire, it goes then to the core product, okay? And in the core product, if they don't buy that there, it actually sends more return emails to them saying, hey, you need to get this, you got the tripwire, this is what this is going to do for you and how it's going to benefit you. Why do all this? Well, because we know for a fact that if someone takes a tripwire, they're 10 times more likely to take the core offer. And by having multiple return paths, we give them over 20 exposures to return to the tripwire offers, thus increasing our core offer conversions by an astonishing 5 to 8%, you guys. This formula right here, this front-end system is so significant. And I accomplished this by building a machine to automatically move them into taking the tripwire offers far before presenting them with the core offer. Basically exhaust all your resources into getting them to the tripwire offer prior to even moving to your core offer. So those of you that are marketing stuff online, I suggest that you add tripwires and return paths to double your sales revenue. Okay, if you add this kind of process to your business, this simple step, you will see huge gains. All right. Now, the good news is all of you on this webinar received the iPass 2 system for free during pre-launch, and this is the exact process that I built into it. The tripwires, the return paths, the tested lead magnets and capture pages, traffic resource, and let's not forget the last two and probably most significant steps that took my revenue to over $500,000 a month. At this point, my tripwires are selling like hotcakes, and over 30% of them were grabbing the irresistible core offer. All in all, this front-end system allowed me to get close to break-even numbers, sometimes putting me into profit before I even sold my main product. You guys, if you're not seeing results like this, you need to be. Okay? However, I started thinking, what would be the easiest way at this point to immediately increase revenue at this stage? Well, the same thing my competitors were doing, and that's using upsells. Okay? I took this strategy, you guys, right out of the book of Kern, Frank Kern himself. His big hit launches and case studies have proven that adding upsells within the sales process will undoubtedly add more revenue while increasing goodwill with your customers. So if you use upsells right, you will increase your revenue without doing anything, and you're going to really build goodwill. So I figured someone that bought my tripwire offer and my core offer would immediately be willing to buy something else if and only if it provided them faster results or made something easier. Here's what I did. So here's the front end. You got the lead magnet, the tripwires, the return pass, and then they go on to buy your core offer for $47. Here's what I did. I added a core maximizer. That's what I call it. The core maximizer being an upsell offer for $97. The cool thing about this scenario is 30% of the people that bought my core offer bought this upsell automatically. It's very simple. They say, hey, do you want it? They click a button. It allows them to purchase it. 30% of them were picking this up. So let me show you that simple upsell means in dollars and cents to, in overall revenue here. So based on the same 1,000 visitor example that I gave you earlier, if 1,000 people visit the site, 8% buy the tripwire, so that's 80 tripwire sales, okay? 30% buy the core offer, which is 24 more core offer sales. Total revenue so far, $1,688, okay? Now add 30% of the core offer customers that buy the $97 upsell. So that's 7 upsell sales at $97 a piece. That's $679. This simple step added an additional $679 without the need for me to do any more work or spend additional time on my business. This just happens automatically. This process creates what I call a compounding effect to an already effective sales system. So if you don't have an upsell, you're absolutely leaving 30% of your income on the table right now. So if you're not doing this, you might as well just send 30% to me because you're leaving it on the table. Okay, and this is exactly why I included it in the iPass 2 system. I knew this had to be there for not only myself to be successful, but for a system to work for people. I created a product called the 6-Figure Shortcuts that provide a great value to the consumer and help them reach their goals faster. So it's a very attractive product, hence why the conversions are at 30%. Having a powerful front-end system like this serves basically 3 purposes, and you want to write these 3 things down. First, it allows you to get into profit mode faster, and this is what we call now money. This is what pays your bills. This is important that you have this and pays for your marketing. It also allows you to do paid advertising. You guys, paid advertising is the way to go. It's how you build money fast online. Doing slow Craigslist ads are not going to get you anywhere, and certainly doing free advertising is very slow, and there's a very small percentage of people that can make that work successfully. It also allows you to scale faster. When you know the economics of a system and you know the percentages and this is all working for you regardless of what you're doing on traffic, then you can scale because you know your numbers. So let me share with you the secret to this whole system. There's a secret to this, okay? The reason I've been able to do over 7 figures online and how many of my students have gone on from working a job to living their dreams as a full-time internet entrepreneur is because the tripwire, the core offer, and the upsell products are logically designed to work together to create a massive demand for your main product offering. There's there's a science to this. They all work together, and this is known as your profit maximizer, which is your main product offering. A profit maximizer is just any additional product or service you sell to those extremely loyal customers who have bought everything you have to sell and are still asking for more. This would be an opportune time to present a top tier or residual product or service. Okay? Having a profit maximizer is your greatest money-making breakthrough needed to reach lifestyle incomes online, bar none. It is the way that you make the big money. Okay? Without it, you will always be fighting your break-even numbers and limiting your ability to scale your business. If you don't have a back-end profit maximizer, you're going to be fighting an uphill battle, trust me. The cool and often misunderstood part of adding a profit maximizer to your business is that if done properly, it requires no extra work on your part while yielding the highest returns of any part of your sales funnel. What that means is once you do this, there's nothing you have to do. There's no extra effort. It just runs itself. So in other words, if your front-end tripwire and core offer are set up and they set up the profit maximizer properly, your consumers will automatically understand why they need your other stuff. You don't even have to sell it. Okay, so regardless of what it costs them, price becomes irrelevant at this point, and this is where everybody gets confused and thinks they know everything in the world, but it goes against what your common logic might say. Price has nothing to do with it. Okay, Tony Robbins sells packages upwards of $60,000, and people pay it all day long. It's because he sets them up on his front-end core offer and his tripwires and his business model, and so in the back end for his seminars, he sells them. He sells out, and everybody goes and they buy personal coaching from him because price is irrelevant. They want it, and they know why they need it for their life. So profit maximizers can come in two forms. You guys, it's products you can create, we covered that, or you can sell other people's products. Either way, you must be able to make a significant amount of money per sale for this to really bring in big returns. So you need to be able to make some good cash on this part for you to see that lifestyle money, the mortgage money, the new car money, okay? So since iPass 2 provides you with the tripwire, the core offer, and the upsell products, I thought it'd be only fitting to provide you with a piece that makes you the most amount of money. Can't expect you guys to go create your own stuff. That kind of goes against what iPass 2 is all about. So keeping that in mind, at any point in time, you can take what you're learning here and go and build out a system on your own, developing your own products and making something just for you to use. You guys, you know what to do here. You've seen the tripwire numbers. You know that having upsell is important. You know that a profit maximizer is what's going to really bring in the cash. I'm going to show you how that works. But you can always go build that on your own. And a lot of times when you buy a guru's product, you're going to learn how to do this, okay? But the majority of people just don't have the skill to do that. So honestly, who wants to do that? Since iPass 2 was designed and built to eliminate the need for you to have to learn, implement, and build this for yourself, okay? I didn't even personally want to create the profit maximizer products that you'd be selling. So I created the core offer. I created the tripwire offers because I knew what converted and I knew what people wanted. I've been doing this long enough, and my team is very, very good at what they do. But I didn't want to go to the extent of building your profit maximizer products because there's too many good products on the market. Instead, myself and my team built the engine, which is known as iPass, to drive sales to your profit maximizer products provided by a company called Empower Network. You should all know this because you were on the secret webinar just a few days ago or just recently. So as you saw the last webinar, becoming an affiliate of the Empower Network will allow you to make up to 100% commissions on their product. So Empower Network is a hybrid business model, unlike most business models. And the reason we chose to build iPass around it because they pay 100% commissions on their digital products. So essentially you have the power of being a product owner as if you created them yourself to make 100% commissions, but you don't have to take the risk. You don't have to do it yourself, and we didn't even have to do it, so it was a perfect marriage for us. So you should already be an Empower Network affiliate, as I instructed in the last webinar. If you're not, and you just became an iPass free member, which means you went to iPass 2 free and you signed up and you did that, you still need to be an affiliate of Empower Network to make those 100% commissions. There's a button right below this video. In fact, if you look right below, there's the first button that says Become an Empower Network Affiliate Now. You want to make sure you click that and become an affiliate. It's very significant because it's only $19.95 a month that allows you to make these big commissions. You need that in order to have a profit maximizer. You guys, it's not even worth continuing if you don't do that. It's just 19 bucks. It's the easiest thing. So make sure you do that. Now, Let me show you what adding a profit maximizer looks like. You guys, this is the most significant part of an internet business, bar none, outside of the front end funnel, okay? The profit maximizer is what makes people the big money. It's what's made me all my money in the industry. All that front end stuff does is figure out the economics that allow you to make the big money here. Without the front end, this doesn't work. Without this, the front end doesn't work, okay? So, as I illustrated, you have the lead magnet, which goes to your tripwire for $7. You got another return paths that keep dripping on your $7 offer. You've got another tripwire with its return paths, which then sends people to the core offer of $47. If they don't buy that, has its own return paths. All this happens automatically. And then you have the coveted core maximizer, or the upsell, okay, that you're getting at 30% return, or conversion, I should say. From there, we add the profit maximizer. Okay, the profit maximizer looks like this. It's a way for you to add up to $5,000 without you having to do any more work. So people get tuned into this profit maximizer. What is this product? What is it all about? And we also have return emails that drip on them. We add in other technologies like SMS text messaging, which show people the value of this product. We do live events that push this. We even have personal coaches that walk people through the business plan of why they need your profit maximizer. So you actually have business coaches calling and contacting your consumers that bought the whole front end. So they bought the tripwire and the core offer. Your business coach will actually call and speak to them or communicate with your client to show them the value of having a profit maximizer. And then they go and purchase that. And we also have some value-added services within that. What I found was up to 40% of the core product customers went on to purchase the profit maximizer products, which is your Empower Network product suite, which I'll show you. 40%, okay, up to 40%. Obviously, with using a coach, it can be higher because you add that personal touch. It's the same reason why every major company has, sales reps, okay? We have coaches that help them see the value in your product for you. So what does this look like? Well, let's start with what Empower pays on sales of their products. Empower Network pays 100% commissions from $225 in your pocket, in your bank account, to $4,825 per sale into your bank account. That's what they pay for commissions, okay? 100% commissions on that. So let's run some numbers. Without the tripwire, you're looking at $705 in sales for 1,000 visitors, okay? With the tripwire and upsells, you're looking at $2,367 in potential front-end revenue. Add the profit maximizers, even at a, say, 10% conversion rate, which is much lower than what we normally see. That's an increase in revenue from $450 additional dollars to $9,650. See the difference here? As you can see, just adding the simple tripwire with the profit maximizers has the ability to increase your revenue by more than 10 times. It's what I do in every business model that I build. The tripwire, the upsells, and the profit maximizers are part of what I call the success triangle. Let's take a closer look at that. So the success triangle has 3 elements, and this is what you need to know. Draw a triangle on a piece of paper. On the top of the triangle, draw a line across. That is what we call now money, or immediate results to cover expenses and recover costs. Okay? This is what the front end is. This is your tripwire. This is your core offer. Okay? This is even the upsells are considered through this, and this is through traffic generation. So you order traffic, people go to your offers, and that creates now money. That's bill paying money, guys. Okay? From there, produced through automated systems, is the residual component, which is the monthly work-free money. Okay, it's the freedom money, the money that accumulates to allow you to step away from your business. This actually happens not by you selling anything, by the systems actually selling products for you in that series. So, and that is actually included in the profit maximizer, and I'll show you that here. And the last part is the top tier product, which produces fast and the most desired results. And this is also produced through educating the consumer and creating high demand. So these 3 things are the cornerstone of any internet business. If you're not having these 3 parts, it's like the food triangle. If you eat too much fat, you're going to get fat. Okay, if you eat too much of vegetables, you're going to stay skinny. You're not going to get the nutrients and proteins that you need. It's the same thing in business, you guys. You need something now that's going to pay you, or you're going to go broke and you're not going to survive this venture that you're doing. You need a residual money because that will accumulate with you doing nothing, no extra work whatsoever, and then you need a top-tier product to pay you the big money. And all of this has to happen synergistically all at the same time. There's no sense in you doing this with 3 different products and selling 3 different ways. You're just wasting time. The problem is most people don't know how to build this. So this is what it looks like. The tripwire funnel I just explained to you is essentially our automated system within iPass 2, okay? Because you made the decision to join us during the pre-launch, you'll be getting the $7, the $47, and the $97 products for free when we launch. And I'll talk more about that here in just a moment. But let's look at the importance of the profit maximizers. You got your lead magnets, which is your traffic, your capture pages, the tripwire, which is your any offer that's low cost or a one-time offer. It could be a webinar offer, a free trial. Your core product, which we call our iSuccess formula, but it could be any primary offer from $47 up to $197 for that matter. And then you have the profit multiplier or maximizer, which is top-tier products. The iPass 2 business packs and the Empower Network Suite is what we're referring to. So anywhere from $297 to $5,000 is a good price point to have as a maximizer to automatically sell itself. Okay. To understand the importance of Profit Maximizer, let's first take a look at what dollar amount those of you on here right now would need to pay your mortgage every month or car payment. Okay. We're going to put this into we're going to make this real for you right now. Okay. This number, would this be, what would that number be and allow you to walk away from your job is what we're going after here. Your monthly and daily breakdown. Let's just say for you to walk away from your job, your walk away value is $6,000 a month. Let's just say, hypothetically speaking, you need $6,000 to walk away from your job tomorrow, which break that down into 30 days in a month. That's $197 a day that you need to make to walk away from your job. $6,000, okay? I know that's not for everybody. Some of you need $10,000 or $3,000, whatever it is, okay? But let's just say 6 for illustration purposes. Where people go wrong is you're only selling one product trying to do that, and the profit margins are too small. So remember this, the diagram a few minutes ago, we are already proven with solid math that this formula does not work, and I know a lot of you have been doing this and it's not working. And it's the #1 reason why people fail when they attempt to build a business online. So let's take a little closer look why. Example #1, you got a $10 profit per sale product. So you could be on ClickBank or Amazon and you're trying to sell other people stuff to make $10. You would need 600 sales to make your walkaway income of $6,000 a month. If you had a product in example #2 that made you $20 profit per sale, you would need 300 sales to make your walkaway income of $6,000 a month. Example #3, let's just say you're selling a $50 product, you still need 120 sales in a month to make your walkaway income of $6,000. So that's still 120 sales. That's a lot of sales. Why this doesn't work? You just need to sell too many products to make a profit. And this model does not produce profits when using the fastest and most common in marketing methods, which is your paid advertising. Okay? Allow me to explain this. You've got traffic. Traffic costs, let's just say $1,000. Okay? From there, you get 428 visitors out of that $1,000 ad spend. This is just hypothetical. These aren't guaranteed numbers, but these are some common numbers that I've seen. So like traffic you buy for $1,000, you get 428 visitors to your site that go to this, say your offer that costs $47. At 1.5%, which is the standard for you just sending traffic to a $47 offer, that's 6 sales. So you're making $282 out of those 6 sales. Okay? You're not going to make profits here. You're not going to break even, and there's no way that you can keep buying traffic at this. You spent $1,000 to make $282. Good luck with that. Okay. Whereas, let's just do another example here. Let's just say with iPass 2, you had traffic, and say traffic cost you $1,000, which still got you the same amount of visitors, 428 visitors, but you insert the tripwire for $7 in front of your offer. Remember, 8%, roughly around 8%, convert on the tripwire. So that's 34 sales, which brings in $238. Okay, that's awesome. From there, it goes to the core offer, which we know 30% of them buy that bought the tripwire. So 30% buy your core offer, that's 10 sales at $470. From there, we add the upsell for $97, which is my 6-figure shortcuts. Okay, 30% of the core offer customers buy the upsell, so that's 3 more sales. That's $291, not too shabby. Here's where it gets interesting. The Upsell and the core offer. The core offer actually explains and teaches the iSuccess formula. And you all have this for free. You're going to get it when we launch, but you're also going to be able to sell this. And when your customers get the core offer that you're selling, that strategically explains how this model works, just like what you're learning here today. You're just getting an accelerated version. Okay? It shows them through a series of videos and having business coaches work with them why a profit maximizer and why this model needs to work. And so what happens is it introduces the average, the profit maximizer, which we're just going to take an average number of $1,500. That's not the lowest, it's not the highest, it's right the sweet spot in the middle. Okay? And 20%, let's just take the middle of the road, 20% of the people that buy your core offer buy your profit maximizer. So 2 sales adds $3,000 to your business. Okay? Hopefully you guys are following me here. I'm not a mathematician. It took me a while with a calculator to figure these numbers out, but it's not rocket science, okay? So that brings in a total amount of revenue of $3,999 just by you buying advertising and sending them through a funnel like this. Now, subtract the $1,000 you spent on traffic. That brings you to $2,999 of profit from a $1,000 ad cost. Now, this is simply hypothetical. I'm not guaranteeing that these results, percentages do vary, but I'll get into how this works here in a second. So just remember, you bought traffic, the $7 tripwire converted to 8%. Those people bought the core offer, which is 30% of them. Another 30% bought the upsell, and then 20% of your core offer people bought your profit maximizer. That's 2 sales at an average dollar amount of $15. So pretty good profit, even if you only converted 10% on your profit maximizer at $1,500 bucks. I mean, you guys are still looking at $2,000 in profit. So here's another example. At $16.25, which is our gold level profit maximizer, if you're making $16.25 per sale, you'd only need 3.5 sales to make your walkaway income of $6,000. So if you converted 2 sales or 3.5 sales on the back end of your business system, you could walk away from your job. That's $6,000 a year. Now let's do this. Look at this example. This is where the numbers get crazy. If you make $4,825 per sale, which is our black package, and I'll show that here in a second. If that's the profit per sale that you make, you would only need 1.2 sales to make your walkaway income of $6,000 bucks a month. But here's a secret that nobody's talking about that you hear about getting traffic online, okay? And this may have come to a major surprise to you, especially if you've been trying to generate your own traffic online. Here's the truth. Getting constant traffic online is incredibly easy, you guys, because nobody does it themselves. I know if you're saying, okay, Chris, your system works like this, I get all this stuff, I have an opportunity to make a profit maximizer, but what about traffic? How do I get lots of people there? Well, you don't have to do your own traffic. Nobody does it, okay? A lot of the gurus, most people just buy the traffic. Okay? I take that back. Some do try, and some do actually generate enough traffic to produce a 6-figure plus income, but it's very rare. There's not a lot of people that know and have the skills to do that. In actuality, the majority of large income producers purchase their traffic from reputable lead brokers and traffic generation specialists. Exactly what insurance and retail companies do to generate their leads online. They're not sitting there generating their own traffic. Why? Because it saves you time, it will save you money. The lack of skill set just isn't going to be there, and it allows more focus in the areas that make you money in your business. This is super critical. There are just too many great traffic generation companies and individuals out there that want your business. Not to use them would be honestly pretty silly. Okay, so this is something I wish I knew 8 years ago. Traffic is something that is very simple. The iPass Success Formula introduces these industry-leading traffic services used by myself and many others for the last few years. And so you'll never have to stumble around in the dark trying to learn the traffic game here, guys. iPass 2 includes the resources for you to get an unlimited amount of traffic at the cheapest rate possible because we order tons of volume. We have great relationships. You can tap into that. Again, I don't drive any of my own traffic in order to earn 7 figures of income online, and you won't have to either. When we launch iPass 2, you'll gain instant access to this resource. So if you're concerned about traffic, don't be. We've got you covered there. In fact, here's a screenshot. Nobody's ever seen these screenshots before because they haven't been released. This is what the iPass 2 back office looks like. It's a shell, but there's a traffic tab at the top of the screen, and by clicking that, that is where you'll actually be able to get our resources and order traffic just like that. We have great relationships with other companies because we do so much volume that you can tap into that, and that's a resource that honestly it's taken me years and years and years to establish. Now, you can also see your daily clicks. So once you order the traffic, the cool thing about iPass 2 is it shows you real time the progress. So you can see how many clicks you're getting, where you're at in the delivery of all the traffic that you ordered, even the conversions of that traffic. So if you look on this screenshot, you can actually see what you're making today, what you made yesterday, what you're making weekly, monthly, year to date, all-time income, shows you new people, what they're buying, when they're buying it, where they come from. All this allows you to see in real time what's going on in your business. And the cool thing is you don't have to worry about any of that. So if you were to go out and buy the Guru's products that teach you exactly what you need to do, which they do a great job doing, you would have to build this for yourself in order to track the results. You can't just go out there and say, okay, I'm going to add a tripwire and pretend it works, because you don't know if it works unless you test it or you have something that shows you that it's working. That's what iPass 2 does for you. So you can see your numbers, and that allows you to create automation. So now that you know how to get as much traffic as you want through the exact same resources as I use, let's talk a little bit about automation here. iPass 2 is designed to run on its own, just like a McDonald's, allowing you to have a business that doesn't take your life over. We use the core offer to educate and train your customers and to sell more products with no additional work required on your part whatsoever. That's what the core product is all about. And a major reason why our conversion numbers can be so high is because we provide business coaches that are assigned to each of your new customers. Going that extra step provides a real personal touch without you having to be the one sitting around answering questions all day. Honestly, the game changer when it comes down to it, that personal touch will get you profit maximizer sales like you wouldn't believe. Let me give you a sneak peek at this, just another screenshot. So when somebody buys your core offer, they get access to the iSuccess formula, which is a more in-depth look of what I'm teaching you here today. Because you're pre-launch members and you already are getting all this for free, I'm cruising through this to show you what you have. But your customers will buy the core offer, and I'm going to break it down in an elementary way to show them why they need each of these and why they need to buy your core maximizers. So if you look in the screenshot, you'll see like them going through a series of steps, how to make money online, what's going on. On the right-hand side, they'll see the summary and notes and so forth. But the cool thing is, on the next slide here, you're going to see new members coming in. So when somebody buys your tripwire offer and your core offer and your upsells, you're going to be able to see in your own back office, just like this, the new members, how old they've been a member, what step they're on in their iSuccess formula, what membership level that they're at, and if they're already been in the business a while, what kind of income that they've made. And then if you want to do your own calls and call them and help them through the process to buy your core maximizer, you can do that. The cool thing is, we give you a coach, if you want to use them, that will actually do this on your part. Now, they're not sales reps. They're not going to cold call and sell. They're there to help and coach. So they know this system. They know the business model very well. They're just there to help make sense of it all and to really just add that personal good feeling and that goodwill to your customer. And so we built actually a chat, as you can see on the right side of the screen. It's a live chat feed that your coach can contact your members right in real time. And if you decide not to use a coach, you can do that. So it's really cool. We have a built-in calendar, so you can show your availability, or your coach will show their availability to your customers, so your customers can set appointments with them. And here's just what the calendar looks like. So-and-so has an appointment set. You can see the appointment status, name, all the information that's needed. Really cool. And then you can also see the current income that's being made from this. So a really cool commissionable overview of your business. And this is something nobody's seen yet. This has been under wraps. So you guys are the first to see this. So as you can see with this much automation, duplication is quite simple. It's quite easy, actually. Why? Because all of your new affiliates have access to the same training, resources, traffic, and automated processes you do. You guys don't have to create the wheel with your customers. We provide all of that. My team and I have built iPass 2, so anyone from any background can jump right in and start building a fast business. In addition, this is really cool. Every fifth Empower Network sale that your new affiliates make using this hands-free iPass 2 business system goes to you. So if you bring in a member that starts bringing in 5 new iPass Black members per week, you earn an additional $4,825 per week just off team production. Okay? This is totally independent of your own marketing efforts, and this adds up quick. So as your business starts to duplicate, you'll be able to really start scaling things based on other people's results. And scaling your business is the most enjoyable part of all. And so let's talk about that. It's the last part. We recommend that you reinvest a percentage of your earnings back into your business in order to reach your internet goal. I'm not saying you have to do that. I'm just saying common sense tells you to do that. You'll easily be able to see your earnings in iPass 2 in the back office, and therefore you'll know each month how much you can afford to put in. We put some really cool tracking and stats in there, so it just makes it easy for you to say, okay, I'm making X amount of tripwire sales, my core offer is converting at this percentage, cool, I'm on track. It shows you a chart where you're on track to making for the year, for the month, for the week, and from there it'll show you how many profit maximizer sales that you've made, and so it'll show you how much you could reinvest if you want to put in 50% back into your business, into more traffic. Your team will scale the same way. So through our coaches and live events, earning you even more money in the process. So part of scaling is duplicating. So we're not talking about network marketing here where you have to build downlines and have genealogy lists where you're making 5% of 100,000 people. You're making 100% of every fifth sale. So essentially, if you have a customer that comes in with you through this system and they decide to become an affiliate and use iPass 2, which is the engine behind this whole business, okay? If they decide to do that, you essentially have 20% stake in their success. So every fifth sale, which is 20%, goes to you. Imagine if you had 10 people or even 5 people where you made 20% and they were making 1 sale a week with the system, which is not difficult, mind you, okay? That's 20% that you're making on 5 people. That's 100% of a business, just like yourself. Clone yourself and make another 100%. You can do that by having 5 people get 1 sale a week. 5 people get 1 sale a week. It's like duplicating yourself. We figured out cloning. This is as close as I could figure out cloning myself, and we've certainly figured that out. It's been 4 years in the making, but we figured it out. And it took an Empower Network type company to come into play for this to work. We couldn't build this around a network marketing company where they only pay out 5 or 10% commissions. It just, the economics don't work out. So we had to wait for the right company, and fortunate for us, we found it. Now, because remember, every fifth sale passes up to you to form the 100% commissions. That's why you make that 20%. In fact, allow me to share just a few examples of real people here. I know some of you are like, okay, Chris, how does this work? People really making money with this. Well, these people are people who made the decision to get started with the iPass business system originally and began scaling their business and changing their lives. An example, Lisa Torres earned over $80,000 her first year and moved her family from a tiny 2-bedroom apartment into a huge, newer 5-bedroom home when we first launched iPass 1 last year. After getting laid off 4 times, Shelly Hobbs fired corporate America and has been able to live her dream of being a stay-at-home mom working very part-time with this formula, the same one that you just received for free. Alex and Erica discovered this system and have since been able to quit their dead-end jobs, create a 6-figure income online, and are now living the life of their dreams, all because of this system and this business model. Angela Moore created a 5-figure monthly income within 6 months of getting started, working just 2 to 3 hours per day. She likes to ski. I've met her on several occasions. She likes to have fun, so this is a perfect business for her. She followed it to a T, and she's doing very, very well. By now, you're already positioned in the right place. Everybody on here, you're positioned. You got iPass 2 for free. Again, I gave this to you for free for a reason. At exactly the right time in order to capitalize on the launch of this brand new iPass 2 system. I've been sharing this with you through the whole webinar. So bottom line is this, and I can see clearly that you're a person who's serious about becoming an entrepreneur. The reason I say that is because you've been on this webinar for about an hour and 10 minutes. All right, you've been listening the whole time and hopefully taking notes. I really hope you've taken notes because this is good stuff here. And you saw how implementing things such as tripwires and upsells and 100% commissionable profit maximizers are a requirement in this day and age in order to earn a full-time income online. You saw the numbers, and you know that if you were to have the same traffic we use running through our automated system, that you would be able to make money on my tripwire offers, on my high-converting upsells, and my core offer that introduces the world to the iSuccess formula, educating your customers on the correct way to build an online business, similar to what you saw here tonight, all while indirectly selling them on your profit maximizer, the Empower Network products that earn you up to 100% commissions, which is why you're here, right? to be able to earn an income on the internet and break free from your job or whatever you're doing right now. That's why you showed up. You want to make money. You want to learn how this game works. And that's why I've specifically packaged together 3 Fast Start iPass 2 packages that contain different Empower Network product bundles to serve as your profit maximizers. Just like when you purchase a McDonald's franchise, it's set up and ready to go. That's how iPass is already set up. This works just the same. The only difference is you're not working managing 17-year-olds for the rest of your life, okay? Before I explain what the 3 different products are, I want to explain a concept called positioning. So you know about the core offer, the tripwires, the upsells, why that's important, how that's going to make you on the front end. You know that a profit maximizer is critical on the back end because it happens automatically. If you don't have a profit maximizer, somebody's getting that money, and if it's not you, somebody's going to, and so the funnel just works how it works. But I want to talk about positioning with you. Remember how I told you in the beginning that I would show you exactly how to earn $20,000 before we even launch iPass 2? Let me break that down for you. See, you already attended our secret meeting a few days ago and registered for an iPass 2 account. You will already be getting the $7, the $47, and the $97 iPass products for free when we launch. That's guaranteed. That is the tripwire, the additional one-time offer, and the core products. You have those now. You got them for free. You don't have to pay for them, and you get to sell them and make money from them just for being an action taker and knowing a good thing when you see it. That's why we gave it to you. That being said, before you can make money, understand that you must have proper product positioning with your profit maximizers. That last part of that success triangle, that lifestyle money, must be in place. If you don't position yourself with your profit maximizers now, and you start promoting the secret meeting as described in our training in step 3 of iPass2free.com, when you go there and you log in step 3, we show you how to promote this funnel. If you don't have profit maximizers, you'll literally start forfeiting commissions to the tune of $4,825 a piece. Okay, almost $5,000 is what you'll be forfeiting. So if you can imagine following our simple step-by-step system training, driving traffic to our funnels, and almost earning $1,000 commissions or $1,500 commissions, even almost $5,000 commissions, but then you forfeit that money because you didn't make a decision to do whatever it takes to follow this next step that I'm going to share with you. Now pay close attention, because if you do and you position yourself properly now, you'll have the ability to earn that $20,000 that I was telling you about with just 4 sales between now and the time that we launch iPass 2. This is the only system, and I mean this sincerely, that allows you to get into profit with just 1 sale and provides you with everything you need in order to get traffic the right way. We built this off of stats. We built this off of experience, and we know what works and what doesn't. The iPass 2 secret meeting and pre-launch is going viral right now and creating above average conversion rates. Now, by adding your profit maxers within your maximizers within iPass 2, which we call these Fast Start packages, you're unlocking for yourself the real world ability to earn an income online and on the internet, walk away from your job, have more time with your friends and family, and do more of the things that you're passionate about. And as a matter of fact, if you want to earn top-tier commissions on the internet, build a full-time income online in a matter of months, not years, and honestly have more time to do the things that you're passionate about, then these Empower Network product bundles within iPass 2 were designed specifically for you. Okay? And it shouldn't go without noting that when we do launch in the coming weeks, you'll have the whole iPass 2 system, including the tripwire, the upsells, the core offer that sells your profit maximizer on the back end for you. That's what the front end does. That's the purpose of it, as I covered already. This is important because you will be coming out of the gate of our launch having the ability to start earning big commissions and being the first to market iPass 2 with our traffic providers. I'm going to share with you what happened in iPass 1 in here just a minute. Now, I don't tell you this to convince you guys to do something or do anything. You can simply remain a free affiliate if you want and wait until we launch, and this will give the other 7,000 pre-registered members a head start. That's fine, you can do that. Okay? In fact, you'll most likely be losing money as others are getting their profit maximizers set up and passing those commissions to me instead of you. The reason I say that is if you don't have a profit maximizer in your business system and other people start buying that, commission's got to go to somebody. And I know this because they get passed up to me. So I'm urging you to to look at that. And truthfully, don't want that to happen. I mean, I don't want to see this happen to you, which is why I'm sharing this with you now. It's why I've taught you this model. Whether you go out and build it yourself or use iPass 2, I think it's a no-brainer to use this, but that's why I'm showing it to you. So here's a breakdown of our profit maximizing packages. As I mentioned, I decided to simplify your life by making 3 fast start packages, each package giving you more leverage, resources, and levels of automation. The reason being, Empower Network has far too many products to explain, and in turn will create confusion in your customers. So if I were to sit here and explain 10 different products that you can use as profit maximizers, you get confused and it would just be overwhelmed. So I created 3 simple packages. And by simplifying the decision process to 3 main packages, this is proven through extensive testing to raise conversions dramatically, something that you'll be self-evident in your own business here shortly. So by doing this, when your customers go to buy a profit maximizer, they only have 3 choices just like you do. Think of it like this. The best-selling items on a McDonald's menu, and I don't even eat at McDonald's, but I know this for a fact. The best-selling items on a McDonald's menu are their value menus, right? Their value items or their value meals. I'd like a number 2, please. Supersize me. How many times have you heard that? You go into a McDonald's, that's what everybody says. Number 1, combo. Number 2, combo. Supersize, right? It's the bundle that converts. It's not like I want a burger, I want a fry, I want a drink, I want a dessert. People don't order like that. It's too many decisions. I name these 3 profit maximizer fast start packages silver, gold, and our what I call our coveted iPass black card package. Okay, as far as earning power goes, look at it like this. The silver package is like owning 1 home, okay? It's an investment. The gold is like owning multiple homes, and the black is like owning a whole luxury condo building. That is the type of leverage these packages give you. For example, as an iPass Silver member, you'll have access to $225 in profit maximizers and double your iPass 2 commissions on the front end from 15% to 30%. So what this does, it adds $225 that you can earn on the profit maximizers, and you can make 30% on the tripwire, 30% on the core offer, and 30% on the upsells that I already gave you. The products in the package are the Empower Network Viral Blogging Academy and the Viral Blogging System. For every silver sale that the system converts for you, you earn $225, 25 of which is residual. This is really cool because people will buy your silver package from this presentation or from your core product, and as long as you're positioned as a silver member, that's $225 in your pocket automatically happening without you doing anything. Okay, so let's look at a hypothetical example before I let you go of what you could earn in the next few weeks following our step-by-step video instructions in driving traffic to our pre-launch secret meeting. So the secret meeting that you went to and this webinar are going to be duplicated for you. So let's run some numbers. Currently, about 30% of the people that watch the secret meeting are getting pre-registered for free for iPass. And so if you drive 100 visitors per week to the secret meeting and 30% of them pre-register for iPass 2, just like you did, that equals 30 people being pre-registered. Okay? Of those 30%, if 10% of them decide to buy your profit maximizer in this presentation, the same video that you're watching right now, you're looking at $675 in earnings per week for the next few weeks as we move into launch. Okay? To reiterate again, of those 30%, so 30%, if 10% of those people decide to buy your profit maximizer, which if you buy the silver package, that will make you $675, okay, in earnings per week. $675 per week isn't bad, but it gets a lot juicier at the gold and black membership levels, and that's honestly where I want you to focus. See, at the gold level of iPass 2, you have access to an additional $1,600 in profit maximizers. This is big, you guys. This is a game changer without doing any additional work whatsoever. People are going to buy your tripwires. People are going to buy your core maximizer. People are going to buy the upsells. From there, the system will show them the value of this whole system and sell your profit maximizers for you. If you're positioned as a gold member, you can make that $1,600 extra. If you're not going to be able to make that, which somebody's going to get that commission. It'll just get rolled up to your sponsor, which is probably us or somebody else that sent you here. Okay? The steps you take to drive traffic will be exactly the same. The only difference is your bottom line. There's nothing different. So I should also throw out that you must purchase the gold package to enable our paid traffic resources. The reason I did that is because you really do need that extra $1,600 to really get into good profits if you're going to pay for advertising. Now, if you're doing free advertising, silver's fine. But if you want to do paid advertising, which a majority of people do. 99% of people do that. You need the economics to work out. You need the gold package. Okay. You also, let's back up. I should also throw out there, as I mentioned, that the gold package will enable your traffic resources and increase your commission level to 50% on all the front-end offers in the iPass 2 system, such as the $7 tripwire, the $47 core offer, and our $97 six-figure shortcuts upsell. So you're moving from 30% on the front end to 50%. So it's a significant jump on earnings on the front end that you're going to be getting. The products in the gold package are the Costa Rica Intensive Business Course and the best-selling 15K formula that blueprints how you can make $15,000 per month with some new age marketing tactics. That's what Empower Network provides for you. The gold package also includes the Inner Circle membership that provides weekly live training from Empower Network. So the products are very, very good, and they pay 100% commissions. Personally, I have sold around 700 of these product packages. And if you're paying attention here, that's $600 that I make each, plus $100 residual. So I'll take 700 times $1,600. That's what I've made selling these products, this gold package. Plus there's $100 residual. Do the math. Using this same hypothetical example of driving 100 visitors to the secret meeting, which is a sale funnel that you're going to get prior to launch, and 30% of them become affiliates and register for iPass 2, if 10% of those people buy your profit maximizers, you're now increasing your income from $675 as a silver member to $5,475 per week as a gold member. See the difference here? That's why we give you the traffic at gold, because that type of margins is such a dramatic increase that it just changes the whole game. Well, as a gold member, why does this happen? You make up to $1,600 per sale. That also quadruples your residual income from $25 to $100. So as a silver member, you can make $25 a month from those customers. That adds up because you make 100% of that. It's pretty cool. But as a gold member, we insert a product that pays you $100 a month residual, and you make 100% of that. So it over quadruples the amount of money you make residually, and that's going to add up fast because only 10 customers, that's $1,000 residual you have coming in. You guys, that's a sweet car payment, or that's perhaps a mortgage payment, or part of a mortgage payment anyway. You really need to amp it up and give more value, automatically increasing your commissions at this level. So moving on, I want to now introduce you to the coveted iPass Black Card Club. And this is the third package we put together to really take your business to another level. And honestly, this package is not for everyone. I'm going to just say this. You should only become an iPass Black Card member if you are serious about and ready to walk away from your job in the next 60 to 90 days. The reason I say that is because the profit maximizers at the Black Card level are life-changing. To begin with, you increase your tripwire commissions from 50% to 70% on the front end. So now you're making 70% on all those products. This is key because this will help cover most of your ad costs when you start pushing your iPass 2 funnel when we launch. Of course, you'll have access to the same traffic we use just like you did at the gold level, and you'll have access to your very own business coach that will help guide you and show you the way. So iPass Black Card members get their own business coaches. Plus, all of your new customers will then have access to a coach helping your team scale and duplicate, putting more money in your pocket, again, with no additional work on your part. So iPass Black puts you in as a CEO because now you have people working for you. You have these business coaches that are spending their time to make sales for you, and you don't have to pay a commission to them when they make sales. You do not pay commissions. We handle that as a company. So let's take a look at the amount of money you could make in the next few weeks as an iPass Black Card member using the same example as before. If you get 100 visitors to the secret meeting and 30% convert to iPass free members, so 30% of those 100 visitors become a free iPass member, and then 10% of those decide to buy your profit maximizers, if you're a Black Card member, you've now increased your sales from $675 to $5,475 all the way as a Black member to a potential $14,475 per week. And that's just in the next few weeks before we even launch iPass 2. Now, of course, this is purely for illustration purposes, you guys, and I can't guarantee that people will buy every package. So if you're a Black member, I'm not saying that every person that goes through your system is going to buy the Black package. However, my experience in the last 8 years has proven this. The law of averages work towards your favor just as long as you're positioned to take advantage of it. This is a common problem that people just don't get. We all know there are four aces in a deck, right? 52 cards, there's four aces. You have to be willing to go through the full deck to find those four aces, right? This business, or any business for that matter, is no different. I see so many people struggle because they just don't go through the deck to find the aces. Realize this as well. The biggest misconception online is people think that it's harder to sell a $3,000 product online than it is to sell a $100 product. That's just not the case. When using systems and leading into profit maximizers from a tripwire, from a core offer, the conversions are all relative to how many tripwire and front-end sales that you make. From there, systems, which all the top earners are implementing in their business, sell the other stuff automatically. You're not out there schlepping and knocking doors or making phone calls in order to sell these high-ticket items. The system already prepares them, and it already does that hard work for you, and then even the business coaches take it one step further to get more conversions for you. It happens automatically. A good example of this to relate to you guys before we let you go is the health and wellness industry. Have you ever seen the free or dollar trials that are out there? You know, get your free African mango weight loss product for $1 and try it free for 14 days. Now, honestly, do you think the supplement companies make money from the trials? Absolutely not. In fact, many of them lose money. I've been in that industry for a long time as well. However, they have systems that automatically sell their other products and services. The whole purpose of the trial or low-cost offer is to gain a prospect and customer, period. From there, it's downhill, just as long as you have a properly built system or a model that converts on your core product and profit maximizers. As an iPass Black Card member, you're eligible for 70% commissions on the tripwires, the upsells, the core offer when we launch, the day of launch, as compared to 50% commissions at the gold level and a 30% commission at the silver. So if you become a silver member, you make 30%. If you're a gold member, you make 50. If you go black, which most people do, you're looking at a 70% commission level. On top of that, iPass 2 Black Card members are sent out our metal membership card. For those of you that have ever seen the Visa Centurion card, it's a very exclusive black card through Visa. You have to have huge net worths. You have to, you have immaculate credit to get that. It's a very exclusive membership. Well, iPass 2 Black Card members do receive a similar card called our Black Card. It comes in a package. It looks like this. It's beautiful. You carry it around. You bring it to our events. And this provides all sorts of other benefits. Just like I showed you at the beginning of this presentation, where we rented yachts. We rented out a whole baseball stadium. We did a whole mastermind. You can see a picture here of 400 to 500 people that are learning the intricacies of internet business and really dialing in and working with other 6- and 7-figure earners in our mastermind. This Black Card is what gets you into those. So let me give you the advice that my coaching students follow in a quick 20K blueprint, as I promised you at the beginning. So as I mentioned, I'm going to show you how to make 20,000 in the time before we even launch here. Now, normally I charge $15,000 per day for training like this, where I build a customer blueprint or a custom blueprint for someone's business. But due to iPass 2 being a complete solution and something that has never been done before, I'm offering this blueprint for you here tonight for free. I'm going to draw this out to a T of what you need to be doing to make money now. Remember, what I just showed you on this presentation is what many of the pros are teaching that tell you to go build in order to be successful online. They are right on the money. This is what must be done. If you're going to be successful online, you can go buy Frank Kern's product, Ryan Dice's product, Mike Filsame's product, buy them all. I've bought them all. I've used them all. And you can go and build a successful internet business. But the only problem is, okay, 99% of the people starting an online business don't have the skill, the time, or resources to build out such an automated and sophisticated business model. That would be like you figuring out how to make a McDonald's from scratch. Forget it. It's not going to happen. All right? It's just not duplicatable. I realize that, and that's why I spent 4 years developing a franchise-style business called iPass 2 here. I just compiled years of experience and testing to produce a franchise-style system for you to plug into rather than just training you and telling you to do it on your own. Yes, you'll learn how this all works, and I only do that to give you the understanding of why you need a tripwire, why you need a core maximizer, and why you need a profit maximizer to really make money. At the end of the day, you don't need to know how it works. You just have to have the system. You have to get it, which you already got for free in the last presentation. And then you need to get positioned with your profit maximizer so you can complete the funnel. It's really critical that you complete everything and you have everything that you need. From there, it's a matter of advertising your iPass 2 business while we improve your results by constantly testing and adding new tripwires to your funnel. So we will keep continually making this better, but you have to have the positioning and get everything in place. So here's the steps that you need. Here's your 20K plan. First step is to get the iPass 2 system. You should have already done this. You wouldn't be on this presentation if you didn't. You already have iPass 2 for free, so you're good to go. You also need to connect your iPass 2 system to your Empower Network affiliate account by following video 2, which is located at ipass2free.com when you log in. So if you go to ipass2free.com and you log in under step 2, it shows you how to connect Empower Network to your iPass system. Remember, iPass is the engine that drives sales of your profit maximizers, which is Empower Network, which you should have become an Empower Network affiliate. So if you did not become an affiliate in Empower Network for $19.95 in the last video, do that now by clicking the first button below this video. It says become an Empower Network affiliate. Right below this video, there's the first button. Make sure you become an affiliate, otherwise it won't work. The third thing you need to do is choose a profit maximizer to add the top tier 100% commission products that the system will sell for you. This is the big part, because all the front end stuff that you got for free and that whole system that you have right now is going to lead up to the sales of your Empower Network products. That's why we built this. So it's up to you now to choose the profit maximizer for you. I suggest positioning yourself at the maximum position to earn 70% on the front end and receive the black card in the mail. That's what I suggest. Remember, this also gives you access to our trained business coaches that will help sell your profit maximizers by contacting your customers that purchase the core offer and walking them through the business plan. That personal touch is huge. Just adding a business coach to your business and integrating that personal touch will by far pay for itself 10 times over once your customers start understanding the value of your profit maximizer products. How do I know this? You guys remember my story at the beginning? I opened a call center. That call center was doing millions and millions of dollars because of the personal touch. Now, granted, the call centers are a shady industry. I don't recommend anybody get involved in them, and I got out of there as fast as I got in. But I also learned something during that process that I knew I needed to add a personal touch to my business. I decided not to do it with a call center, and we use business coaches that we have personally in our staff under salary that are very educated that help with this business, and they will be working on your behalf. Now, the fourth step is plug into the pre-launch secret meeting funnel and use this exact presentation to help sell your profit maximizers before we go live. The more pre-launch members you get now, the bigger the payday will be when we turn on the system, because everyone will get instant access to the system and then upgrade their products. And if you are not positioned with a profit maximizer, you will forfeit those commissions, period. This is critical. Okay, let me back up. The more pre-launch members you get now, the bigger payday you will have. So the more you do today, we're going to give you the secret presentation. So under step number 3 of ipassfree.com, you're going to have a link there that you can send people to, which you can get traffic through us, or you can do your own traffic, which we show you how to do as well. But you just send them to that webinar where they get iPass for free. Once they get there, they get an invite to this exact presentation that you're on. So I'll be explaining this value just like I did here tonight for you. And when they go to buy a profit maximizer after watching this video, you get paid. Okay? It's really, really cool. And let's go into the next step. Number 5 is attend our live meetings and trainings. Facebook pages, get your traffic ready for the launch so you can be the first to market this new platform. All right? It's all about positioning here. iPass 2 has been in the works for 18 months. A lot of people are anticipating it. It's really important that you get dialed in. By doing what I just outlined, you'll be in the best financial position possible, and quite honestly, never have to worry about joining another business ever again. So go ahead and choose a Profit Maximizer Fast Start package below. There's 3 choices. There's the silver, gold, and black. The first button is just to become an affiliate, which most of you should be already. If you're not, make sure you do that. That's what allows you to make the 100% commissions. And then what each of the lower packages does allows you to get those higher commissions at those product levels. Plus, it unlocks other things in iPass, such as an iPass Black member, you get the coaches. As an iPass Black member, you get 70% commission on your front-end system. As a gold member, you unlock the traffic resource. As a silver member, you get 30% on the front end. So those are your choices, but you do have to order each one in a consecutive order. So if you want to be a Black member, just sign up for the silver, then the gold, and then the black, and you'll have everything you need to make over $4,000, almost $5,000 per sale. It's so significant. So make sure you go ahead and do that now. Click the button. I would start with silver. Go ahead and do that. Move on to gold and move on to black. That is the best way to get your profit maximizer so you're ready for this launch. Oh, and before I forget, I wanted to mention what happened the last time we launched. I mentioned this at the beginning. I almost forgot. This is what happened at the launch of iPass 1. So I selected a portion of affiliates in Empower Network that could use iPass 1. Immediately upon receiving and implementing the system, their Empower Network sales, which is their profit maximizers that you guys are getting tonight, started coming in left and right. It's a fact. A lot of them just on the anticipation of something new coming out. So a lot of people made profit maximizer sales because of the anticipation of something new. Here's an example of this. Just shows me I'm on stage, and this is Denver. There's 6,000 people here, and I was speaking about our systems and what it's doing. It's just an awesome, awesome crowd. Here's some checks from people that were part of that that group. You'll see Alex Zubrov, 84,000. I think some of these checks I showed you before. Justin had 198,000. These are people that were using the system. In fact, this group was called the Prosperity Team, and at one point, this is a fact, 8 of the top 10 earners in Empower Network during that period were from this group. They absolutely dominated the chart. So 8 of the top 10 top earners came from this beta group, or the iPass 1 group. One member actually broke over $1 million in commissions that he earned during that time in Empower Network, and hit a record-breaking, Empower Network hit 80 million in total commissions to pay out to its affiliate network. So one of our members, his name was Chuck. Here's a picture of him. He's an awesome guy. He just hit $1 million, and using the system, shows a couple of his checks. There's one there for over 400,000, and he was just featured on the Dream Show to congratulate him for becoming a millionaire through this system in the Empower Network. But needless to say, iPass has a great track record, and iPass 2 is a complete rebuild from the ground up, doing what iPass 1 did really well and making it 10 times better. You guys, we had so much results and so much information. We could take what really worked well and build it better and throw out the stuff that didn't work well. I should also disclaim that the people that hit the top earning charts in Empower Network were all iPass Black Card members, taking advantage of the highest commission possible. The reason these guys made the kind of checks they did was because they were positioned to be able to make the big commissions on the back end. Without that, you're having to make so many sales to really make the big money, whereas one sale makes you almost $5,000 and over $100 residual with every sale, just one sale. You guys, that's significant. You don't have to make a lot of those to pay a mortgage, and you don't have to make a lot of those to make a significant amount of money every month. I also want to say, I'm going to kind of put this out there, I told you so to all those people who decided to wait on adding their profit maximizers last time we launched iPass 1. 3 weeks before we launched, before last year, people started flooding the pre-register list, and the day of the launch, a record amount of sales occurred, and the people that hesitated on having that profit maximizer piece lost out on a lot of commissions. You guys, some people hesitated and said, oh, well, I'll get it after we launch. What happened was there's so many people that were anticipating it. The day of launch, everybody started buying, and people weren't positioned with their profit maximizers. How do I know this? Well, it's because I was the one who got the pass-ups. So if you're not positioned with a profit maximizer, all those sales from the system are going to be passed up to me or whoever sponsors you into this. So that's how I know, because I had a really good day. And don't get me wrong, I liked the money, and it was fine, but I felt bad because people were scrambling trying to get this, and they just weren't positioned. So this time around, I'm much more adamant about stressing the importance of positioning and doing it before the launch. That's why I'm giving you guys an opportunity to make money with the secret meeting and this webinar prior to we even getting launched, so you can get as many free members as possible, make an extra 20 grand by having the right profit maximizers, so when the door does open, just think of it, all those free members and those people that are positioned are going to get the products for free. They're going to get the core offer, and that core offer and the coaching is attached to it. As long as you're a Black Card member, your coaches are going to be selling these products for you. And believe me, the coaches get bonus from us if they sell the higher packages. So if they're coaching and saying, hey, you need this, and this is why you need it, you know, at the iPass Silver, it's like fishing with a little net. With iPass Black, it's like fishing with the charter boat in the middle of the ocean for the big fish. That's what we want you guys to look at as far as leverage, and that is honestly the difference between making little money and big money. The front end will help you cover your costs, okay? The back end, what makes you the big income. So I'm very adamant about this, and I really drive this point home. All I can say is get yourself in a position to profit and start using the pre-launch secret meeting to generate tons of free iPass 2 customers. From there, a recording of this exact webinar will go out to those free members in order to show them your profit maximizers. This exact strategy could mean you making an additional $20,000 before we even go live. Then imagine what will happen. Okay, so my suggestion is hold on, because this is going to be fun, you guys. I've done this before. It's going to be a lot of fun. Position yourself now and grab a fast start package below to add your profit maximizer and start making money today. You know, I'm ready for a month of no sleep. I don't know about you guys, and the excitement of making big commissions, because even though I'm the creator of the iPass system, which you all know, I'm still a marketer at heart, and I am as excited as you are to drive tons of traffic to the system, once again topping the charts in Empower Network and shooting for $2 million in commissions this year. That's my goal. I think I'll surpass it, and I want to see all of you out there hit some really, really great income goals, and really hopefully those of you that have never made money before, I'm really confident they're going to start seeing money for the first time, especially having that tripwire and the core offer and the upsells. That's going to really get you those small wins at the beginning, pay for your advertising, get your morale up, show you something that works, and then that profit maximizer is going to bring in the money to help really drive your business home. And believe me, when you get a $5,000 commission deposited in your bank for the week or for the day or for the month, whatever it is, you guys, it is life-changing. So what's your goal? What do you want to accomplish? You have the system in front of you. You got it for free. You guys, this does not happen normally. I gave you this whole thing for free in efforts to educate you of why you need a profit maximizer, which is the Empower Network relationship that we have to get you that product so you can make 100% commissions. Without it, you don't have a product to sell in the back end. Now, again, as I said, you can go and build this yourself, but why would you do that? We spent all the time and money here, fortune, to build this. So at this point, you know what to do. I showed you everything. I outlined it. I drew out how the numbers work out. Now it's time for you to do what you know. Okay? That's the biggest thing for you, is just you know what to do. If you're not an affiliate, make sure you become an Empower Network affiliate. It's the first button below this video, and then below that will allow you to upgrade to the different profit maximizer packages. Start at silver. Once you get silver, go ahead and get the gold, and then get the black. By having all three, that gives you the opportunity to become a black member. I should be very clear. By just clicking the third button to become a black member, that only gets you the third part. You do have to be a silver, gold, and black, which gets you everything, and allows you to make up to $5,000 per sale, which is very significant. Because when we explain this in the new iPass 2 system, we explain why people need to have them all. And so if you're not positioned to have it all, you're going to leave money on the table. It happens. When we first started in Empower Network 2 years ago, there were people that joined us and bought couple products. Maybe they bought a small product, and what happened was the system sold the upper tier stuff, and that just got passed on to us. And we made a lot of money on pass ups, mind you, but they regretted it, because after they lost that money, they were like, okay, I need the product, I got to get positioned, get my profit maximizer, and then they took action. But by that time, it was already too late. So I don't want you guys to miss out on that. The system is in front of you. You know what to do. I don't want you to miss out on the frenzy that's going to happen. So with that being said, hopefully you learned a lot here tonight. You learned at least what to do in a business to make money online. Without having a tripwire, you're looking at 1.5% conversions on your front end. It's no way that you're going to profit on that. I hate to tell you that, but it's the truth. And I've been doing this in my business since 2011. I showed you the conversions. Just by having a tripwire, you can double your conversions on the front end. We take it so many steps further by adding a second tripwire, by adding follow-up series on your behalf, selling the core offer, which is a beautiful product that sells your Empower Network products for you and teaches the iSuccess formula on your behalf and implements coaching. We have the upsell for $97 in there. All of that is ready for you. All you need to do is position your profit maximizers, and you guys are ready to go. So we're cranking away here. Just a few weeks left until launch. Plenty of time for you guys to use this funnel, the secret presentation that you were at a few days ago. This webinar recording will be available to all your new free members, and from there it's going to sell your profit maximizers. As long as you're positioned, those commissions are going to start flooding in for you. I truly believe you can hit $20,000 in the next 3 weeks, so that should be your goal, and I challenge you, every one of you on here, to hit that goal. I challenge you to make $20,000 in 3 weeks. Believe me, when you do that, your life will change, because then you're going to launch with us, and you're going to be part of the biggest launch you've ever seen on the internet. This is the reason why we rented out a whole stadium, because that's how big this is becoming. We have over 7,000 people registered right now for free. I expect that number to double or triple before we even launch, and you are all part of that right now, and you're all part of getting this for free. The system, the product, everything is now you have to attach your Profit Maximizer, which is Empower Network, to the system, make the system talk to each other, press go, and I'm really excited for you to be part of this. So with that, thank you for taking the time. I know we're just an hour and a half webinar here, but I covered a lot of information, showed you what you need to do, blueprinted it out for you. There's really no reason for you not to do this. You already have 70-80% of your business funnel for free, what you got. Now it's time to get the rest of the 20-30%, which is the Profit Maximizer, so you can start making that big money. And I'm super excited for you guys to get your hands on this. So with that, this is Chris. Make sure you go to our fan page and so forth. After you become, you get your Profit Maximizers, you'll get access to our fan page, our support group, our live events, all of that in iPass, and you'll be ready to rock and roll here by tomorrow. So with that, I'll see you online. Can't wait for you guys to get plugged in. Hopefully I see you at the next big event, where we're going to figure out how we're going to top a whole stadium, but we've got some really good ideas for you guys. So those of you that are Black Card members, make sure to bring that Black Card with you to the next event. We've got some incredible stuff in store for you. So with that, this is Chris. We'll see you soon.